Freedom YouTube channel. I'm so excited you're here. My name is Harriet Hadfield. I am a celebrity makeup artist with over 16 years experience. I've worked with everyone from Doja Cat to Chelsea Handler, from Olivia Rodrigo to Naomi Watts, and lots of global beauty brands and fashion brands. And today I wanted to talk about makeup artist jargon. So especially if you are new in the industry or you have any confusion around things that maybe you've heard people say, whether that's online or social media or even on set, and you're unsure what they mean, I wanted to break down some of the most commonly used terms so that you have everything you need to know to feel confident next time you are on set. So if you are new here, welcome. I'm so excited you're here. My mission is to create more six-figure creative freelancers. So while this video is aimed predominantly at makeup artists, I also have clients who are photographers, stylists, hair artists, video editors who have used a lot of the same frameworks I teach my clients to successfully build six-figure businesses and double their bookings in any market. I would love it if you subscribe. Don't forget to share this video with any other creative freelancers that you may think this is helpful for. Okay, so I have my notebook here. I kind of jotted down loads of things that I know when I first started as a makeup artist. I kind of was like, oh, am I meant to know these terms? Like I kind of like wanted to know on the D-Low, like who do I ask to know what this means? Because a lot of these terms when you're in a creative industry, they're also not necessarily things you can just look up in a dictionary. So I wanted to have a place where, again, you can get all the need to know information you need. First up, testing. What is testing? Testing is where you collaborate with other creatives. So let's say if you're a makeup artist, you might collaborate with a hairstylist, a photographer, and a model. And it is where you all create images that you do for free, so no one gets paid, but you're all then able to use those images in your portfolio to show potential clients and use to market yourself online. Building the images and building your portfolio is how you're going to be able to show your experience, show your unique style, and really where you're the expert at or in. Testing is something that isn't just for baby creatives either. I still prioritize doing testing even when I was working with celebrities because it was a way for me to make sure I could be very much in control of the imagery my clients saw, and it gave them an idea of not only what I could do but what I was the best at. And especially when it came to things down the line in my career, I found testing was always a way to position myself for the jobs and bookings I wanted. So we love testing. It's not just for new artists, but that is what testing means if you're unsure. Okay, so a treatment. You may have heard this terminology. Now, a treatment is something that a director will often give to people within the team to show the breakdown and story that's maybe being created in, whether it's a music video, a short film, it could be a job that you're working on. So a treatment is there to give you a guide as to what the overall vibe is of the shoot, similar to a mood board, but there's usually a lot more detail. And a treatment will often break down if there's any characters involved, what those characters are, who they are, what the story is, and maybe how certain things within the set design are going to be placed, what's going to be necessary for kind of the team as a whole. So it's there to kind of give everyone an overview of what the plan is for that particular music video or that particular film or job. So continuity. Continuity is kind of what it sounds like. It's the idea that you're able to make something that follows on from something else. So you'll hear the word continuity used a lot in film, but it was also something I used to have to think about when I did music videos. Because let's say you shoot a scene on the Monday and you have to shoot the next part of the scene on the Tuesday, maybe the actress, the model, or the singer would have to have the same makeup that they had the previous day. Or let's say often in special effects, if it's a bruise might look a different color 3 days after when it first happened. So continuity has a lot to do with the timeline of the makeup being worn or what the talent is wearing. The best way to think about continuity is where is something being filmed at any given time and what was happening before it and what is going to happen after it. But continuity really is just the process of making sure whatever story is being told, the makeup and hair reflects wherever the point is within that story. Editorial, I wanted to put this word in here because I think there's a lot of miscommunication around what editorial actually means. Editorial is different from Fashion Week. There are different kinds of editorial. So I'd say there's what I call glossy editorial, which is much more kind of your Marie Claire's, your Elle magazines, kind of more in that realm. And then you have kind of more high fashion editorial, which is generally maybe more art focused. It might focus on music as well. So things like Garage magazine, ID magazine, and obviously there are so many magazines and editorials within the world, but an editorial, generally speaking, is going to tell a story. And any shoot, especially if it is of an editorial, the goal of the story is to sell, whether it's the clothes or the shoes, and convey emotion through that story, especially if it is being used within a magazine where they are wearing clothes, shoes that are for sale or being advertised and marketed within that magazine. Okay, stock shoot. So stock shoot is when you work with an actress or an actor, and it is a shoot day where the actress or actor's team will want you to create multiple looks that could be used in lots of different kinds of places and publications. So for example, rather than the day being a continuity and all within the same vibe, you might have the first part of the day you shoot smiley, happy photos where it might be kind of headshots, and then you might have a portion of the shoot where you do something quite edgy or a little bit more fashion forward that they would be able to use in something like, I don't know, Wonderland magazine. Then you might have something where it's very tonal or shot in black and white. Again, that could also be used as a headshot, but the whole point of a stock shoot is to create images that can be used in different publications in different places. You'll notice a lot of the time when you see magazines where, let's say they do what's in my handbag, that might be an image of a stock shoot versus having an actress or actor come and do a photo shoot for that specific piece of writing. So a stock shoot is quite literally, as it sounds, stocks of photos that can be used for multiple different purposes. And that can also be known as a spec shoot too. Okay, so deal memo. I get a lot of questions around this one. Now, a deal memo is another word for a contract. If you ever work with agencies or production, a lot of the time they will use the word deal memo in place of a contract. So a deal memo is there to give your client guidance on what your cancellation terms are, what your overtime terms are, and what is agreed to upon them hiring you. And once the client has signed it, then they have agreed to those terms and conditions. Hard out. So I remember the first time I heard this, I was like, what's a hard out? A hard out simply means whatever time is on the call sheet that you finish, that's the time you finish. So for anyone who has ever done like an advertising shoot before, or maybe a fashion shoot or any kind of shoot, it's not uncommon that you don't finish at the time you see on the call sheet. And the call sheet, for anyone who's wondering, is the information that tells you where you have to be and when you have to be at set, for example, or the photo shoot, or wherever it is that you are going to be at a place of work as a creative. OOP, also known as out of pocket. So again, as the name would suggest, what it means is if that's ever used, especially in terms of celebrities, OOP, out of pocket, just means that the celebrity is paying quite literally from their own pocket. It's not a production company paying, it's not a film studio. So usually that means the rate will be lower for the very fact that they are paying out of pocket. So something to keep in mind when it comes to rates. More on that in a later video. Do and go. Now, again, this is a question I get asked a lot when it comes to working with celebrities. So again, a lot of these sound quite common sense, but do and go just means that you come, you do the makeup, and then you go. So as opposed to, let's say if you're doing a press junket with a celebrity, you would often be there for most of the day, or at least most of the afternoon. When you do a do and go, you're often there for, I don't know, max 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours. But once you've done the makeup or hair or styling, you then leave. So that is all the ones I could think of that are the most commonly asked. But again, if you have any that you don't know, please leave them down in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. Thank you so much for watching. Again, would love for you to subscribe. Don't forget to share this with a fellow creative, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.